check before if they are politically correct. But you have to be 100% totally politically correct. If you are not, you cannot be in. They try to control you by salary.
Paying you a lot of money.
By different offers, in a sense that you have free access to the transport, free access to the restaurants, free access to different things. And in fact, it's a badge. UN badge does mean that you are someone important in compared with the people from the street.
Oh.
This,
so they make you feel not just richer than the people on the streets, but superior to them.
Exactly like in the banking system. Look to the young people who there are employees in the bank. He, in his car, he can see on the street his friend. I said, sorry, I have no time for you. I'm someone. I'm the banker. So they invest in manipulate the mind of the people. And in a moment when you manipulate the mind of the people, they sell their soul.
So even though if they may have started out with good intentions, they choose people who, as you said, are completely in line and are willing to sell their souls.
Correct. Exactly. They don't like to you or to your life to be beautiful, to be harmony. They like just the black. You have to be under control. With other words, Darwin said to us that we are coming from animals. The new Darwins,
the descendants of monkeys.
The new Darwins, they said they are coming from robots. And here we are. We discuss about the transhumanist process, which those people, they want to impose. And how they can impose. They impose it when the people totally believe that this system internationally, which is somewhere high from you, take care about you. And only if what they are saying you have to respect, which is wrong. As they are trying to push us to dictate everything about our health. How can be someone to dictate about me?
And that's another NGO. That's the World Health Organization. It's just another NGO. No one there was elected by anyone.
No, they are just nominate.
Yes.
They are nominate in general the people who they are totally slave in their mind.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can find why someone like Tedros, who in his own country has committed crimes, why this man becomes the chairman of the World Health Organization, only because no one elected him, but he's nominated.
You know what? I met him in Geneva for a meeting, and he was exactly the definition of the slave. In the year of 60 was the great legend in United States, Malcolm X. Malcolm X was the leader against the slavery, remember? And
he was the leader of the Black Panther movement, I believe.
Exactly. And he was assassinated, by the way.
Yeah.
Exactly the same situation as with Kennedy. Because he said house nigger and field nigger. The house nigger, what does mean this?
The Uncle Tom.
Exactly. He said we, all the time is we. We does mean you, a slave, together with your boss. And you are we. You don't say my boss, you said we.
Yeah.
Because he is part of the system, house nigger. Which does mean the slave who is totally dedicated to the boss, even that is Brussels or is Washington, European Union, whatever. It's the same. And the field nigger, the people which they don't want their country to be a field for others. And here is the main important point, Rainer, that the majority of the humanity, people, they understand that what Davos said, that the control is about the financial and banking system. The powerful is where are the natural resources. Look in Africa, it's a continent which I know quite very, very well. I spent almost 8 years in different missions and other things like this. So Africa is probably the most beautiful part of the world. And doesn't exist free country there. Guinea-Conakry can be, how I can say, the pearl, can be the gold lingo bar of the planet. Small, beautiful, fantastic, full of natural resources. Do you understand? Full. Full does mean full. And the people that are on the street with the device in the front and play games.
What happened?
Brainwash, all of them. They control exactly the presidency institution, and the people that are the slaves. In fact, the slavery didn't disappear, as those people said. It's most powerful as never.
Only in a different
The door
sense.
of the slavery, which we know from history, was Dakar in Senegal.
Yeah.
Is now all the continent of Africa. There are doors and doors and doors and doors for slavery.
But the
It's very easy.
slaveholders are now different. In effect, it's the oligarchs who control the
Oligarchs
UN.
is the same. I mean, for this reason, doesn't exist correct political campaign. They put exactly the person who they.
Yeah. No real elections anymore.
No, doesn't exist election. It's just on the paper. Because they know how they control this, and how can manipulate the mind of the people to vote exactly what they want. Donald Trump was a big shock.
They didn't expect that to happen. That was an accident, I suppose.
Absolutely an accident.
Not part of their game
was
plan.
the first time of the oligarchy system was what happened an accident. Because normally it have to be Hillary Clinton,
Yeah.
not Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And the process which we are dealing now with this pandemic and all these liars was supposed to be in 2016.
They
In
were
a s-
pushed into
Exactly.
early
In a
start.
sense, to be in 2020 to be a disaster regarding food and water,
Ah, I see.
which normally they want to arrive in 2025 now. Of course, they will not succeed. This is clear. The system is almost down. Of course, there are the last moments, and we have to have the courage now, all of us, to say no. For me, the most important piece of this game, Rainer, is that what I have seen in UN to my colleagues is they don't have the power to say no, because they know that in the end of the month is someone who push a button, and in his bank account there are coming few $1,000s.
So it's all about money. Was there a particular incident that made you decide I have to get out of here?
The
Or was it a
incident,
slow process?
Well, of course, it was step by step. But the most important one was my last mission in Marshall Islands, where I have seen probably the most beautiful part of the world. And I have seen how a disaster was made by United States with the exercise of the atomic bombs in 1960, which they destroyed totally most part of the archipelagos in Marshall Islands.
You told me they destroyed the entire tuna fish population.
The tuna fish, and because it's totally affected by the nuclear things, and you cannot.
By the radiation.
It's not exactly by the radiation. You cannot clean like you clean the house.
Yeah.
It's not possible. This, but the most important was affected this paradise with people. They didn't know that what exists the Second War. They didn't know that exists doctors.
And they didn't need any.
Yeah, because they simply and the average was 180 years old, 200 years old.
Really?
Yeah, and now the average is 35, 40 years old.
The average age of when they died was,
180, 200.
oh my God.
This exactly. And now the average is 40, 45. No more, because to the radiation. The most important part was that in the moment when I arrived with the report in Geneva, back on the mission, they did everything, again, everything was possible to stop me to present this report. And including that they canceled my press conference. With a respect for the people who I met, in Marshall Islands I'm speaking, of course, the local people, I quit it. I decided to leave forever. Was a point of consciousness, plug off matrix. This was done from me, in a sense that UN can have the fantastic role, but is not, because it's totally under control of the oligarchs. And they try to push so hard this situation that I find in many cases that the people which they assume that there are the employees, no? I mean,